Hello my friends, welcome to Creating with Jovi and to 100 Days of Junk Journal Page Layouts. This fun collaboration is hosted by Cindy A. Lewis and I am taking this journey along with her. We both have playlists, so if you've missed any days, please be sure to check out our playlist. They will have both of our videos on them. Today is day 13 and it is a layered pocket page. Some items that you'll need for today, of course, are your base page, some collage papers, scrap paper for the pocket, glue, scissors, embellishments, and any other goodies that you think you'd like to work with today. We're going to begin by creating a collage background. So let's just grab this page out of the back of the book. This is a reproduction. It's a vintage, but it's a reproduction of a 1900 Sears catalog. And then, which that would have been antique, but this is the reproduction, but it is still vintage. You can see how yellow the pages are. This was copyright 1970. To start my collage page, I'm just gonna real quick do some tearing. Let's go ahead and tear like that. And we'll put it next to the washi tape. Might just cut across the bottom. I want to keep it as straight as I can. Okay. I want to cut the plain part off of this side here. There we go. Just keep the interesting parts. All right, so I usually would work across this way, but today I want to do something just a little bit different, and we're going to work across that way because I'd like to have this here and I'd like to keep this here and then start with another layer going across this way is what I'm thinking. But first things first, let's go ahead and get this glued down. All right, I've got the glue on there. I'm going to flip this over and get this down onto the page. Okay, my friends, I have this piece of paper and I don't want it to remain looking the way that it does, obviously, but I am going to collage on top of it with some old papers that I have, and then going to put maybe a floral collage piece on top of that, and then I'm going to tear it and it's going to go on this page. So let's begin simply by gluing this down because you know collage is all about the layers. I'm going to keep the 1961 on there. There's a date there. It'll probably end up getting covered, but just in case it's peeking out, I'd like to give it the opportunity to be seen. Okay, and now I'm just going to trim this. Oops, I'm just going to trim this right here. Okay, all right, let me get the book out of the way so I'm not juggling too many things. All right, here we go. We're just gonna get this glued down. Now let's get some nice thick washi on the top and on the bottom. Now I'm gonna cut out some floral images from a collage book that I have. When I'm done fussy cutting the flowers out, if it's got a lot of white around the edges, I am going to go ahead and just get a little bit of ink on there. This one doesn't have too much, but just a little bit, so I'm going to ink that up as well. All right, my friends, let's go ahead and begin putting this little tiny collage together. All right, my friends, now we're gonna make this interesting. We are going to go ahead and cut, and you know what? I'm gonna do a squiggle line, not a perfectly straight line. So we cut corner to corner. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we're gonna put this down here and this up here, and then we're gonna have a look at it and see if we need to add, wow, no we don't. I was gonna say, do we need to add anything interesting here, but we really don't need to do that. Okay, so this is kind of fun. Now we're gonna flip this over. And we're gonna glue from here to here and here to here. All right, now we're gonna grab these, we're gonna pick them up and add them to the page. So we have a beautiful collage effect going on here. And both of these are going to act as pockets. All right, my friends, I created this small tag. I used a scrap piece of cardstock that I had stamped on. I used a scrap piece of vintage dyed paper, and then I used a cut apart from a collage book that I have. And that small one is gonna fit right up here in this pocket. And I had to make it small because I wanna be able to pop this large one here in this pocket. And if this was covering this one, it would be a wrestling match to get it in there. And I wanted to let you know that this is a postcard that I created, and it's a freebie, and it's probably one of the first freebies I ever created, and I do believe I have this in my Facebook group. I guess I need to check, but anyway, there's a bunch of freebies over there if you want some. Creating with Jovi Journals and Crafts. So there we go. I like how these colors work together. This was super fun to put together. I hope that you will make sure to check out Cindy today if you have not already. And I also hope that you will join both Cindy and I tomorrow for day 14. Okay, my friends, thanks for watching. See you soon.